hi, Mark. Oh, 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 hi, Mark.
Bread.
Bread. Wait, did the bread I wasn't actually at the computer. Who we got? Hey Jennifer. Hey Gameman. Hey McDo. I missed the Q&A. You didn't miss much. You just missed me drinking some alcohol and chatting. Hey Trust No. Hey Fire Dagger. How's it going, guys? I'm eating breakfast at the same time because
Hi, Mark.
I have a long day. Can you play Long Drive? Not today. But we will do. I'm enjoying that game very much. Hold on a minute. Let me close the door. I've got like kebab food. Very nice. Do you still remember me? I vaguely remember Fire Dagger, yeah. Unless you changed your name a little bit. Did you have a similar name? Fire Dagger. It looks vaguely familiar. Mmm. I lost train of thought. I'm eating like a chicken doner kebab in a bowl with like salad and stuff. It's quite nice. I was lazy, so I ordered takeout yesterday. Let me sort the camera. Make it so it doesn't look at my crotch because it's aiming really low down. I have to always make it look like I'm... Oh, well. I have to make it look like I'm just a floating head to you guys. I had a friend many years ago who made that joke about I'm just a floating head. But she legitimately was like, I just actually don't see you as anything else but a floating head. She was just like an online friend who I used to play games with. And she said it's weird because she saw me stand up once and walk away. And she was like, oh my god, you actually have a body? That's weird. So yeah, look, I got like a... like this. It's just like loads of like... loads of like meat, see that? With just like cabbage and stuff. And it tastes really good. If I wasn't being lazy, I'd have made some rice with it and eaten it with rice. That'd have been really filling. I think we're going to be here for a couple hours today. So I'm not too like, oh, get into it, you know. I'll quit the game. How did I click back on the game and click quit? I was an older viewer. Wait, so was your name the same? Fire Dagger. It does look familiar. We're watching my favorite episodes of Slime. Slime? There's a show just called Slime. Where's the audio? Can you guys hear the game? Why can't I hear anything? Whoa! Oh, my PC's muted. Why? That'd explain it. I think this game could have hard audio. Always the same. Hey, Jennifer, how's it going? Nom.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Minty. I'm eating. I've also got the same user. Oh, okay. I think I do recognize your name. Yeah, we've had so many people since then. I got some grape Fanta. Japanese grape Fanta. Oh, that time I got reincarnated as slime, right? You know, I stopped watching that show. I really liked the first season of that show. Good stuff. I got a busy day ahead of me after streaming. Oh, man. I haven't played. We'll play Long Drive different day. I haven't played Getting Over It in a hot second now. So, someone was playing it the other day on the Discord. And they were like, how do you get past these sections? I was like, oh, man, it makes me want to play it again. I have 2 streams where I explain how to get past certain sections. Because some of them are really tricky, and where this person was they're up here in a second. We're definitely not going to get a personal record sitting on the ground like this. When we go back at home, we're back at home in 2 weeks today. Wait, what day is it? Monday. Yeah, 2 weeks today. I'm back home in the UK. I'm going to Korea for 5 days very soon. I've met a very nice Korean person who's going to show me around. So that's going to be quite fun. How have you been doing? Pretty good, man. How have you been doing? Japan's been awesome. I've been getting lazier and lazier, though, because it's really hard to every single day do something. Oh, yeah, it's Sunday for you at the moment. I'm so how trust now on. Yeah, I think I stopped watching after season 2. I won't spoil anything, but I lost interest. Okay, Jennifer, see you in a minute. I hope you stay healthy while I'm eating takeout. To be fair, takeout in Japan does feel a bit better. I don't know what sauce to use. It said like garlic sauce or something. It is so good. What the heck? That's so tasty. Yeah, for people who don't like the sound of others eating, I do apologize. I don't know if I'm going to be getting lunch today because of my activities. I'm going to an Idol concert, which should be pretty fun. I did not mean to hit that. I meant to spoil anyone else, Caveman. I was going to say why I didn't like watching it after season 2. But the reason why would spoil anyone else who were to join the stream and have not watched the show. Oh, no. I'm resetting. That bounced me so far. What the heck? So, I've been having this really stupid conversation with somebody. I'm nearly done. On itch.io. So, you guys know I played a game. That's Not My Neighbor. And basically, wait, what? Getting Over It with muted. Am I muted? Hello? This isn't good. Anyways. So I've been playing, you guys know I played That's Not My Neighbor. And basically, they released a game on Steam, which I've played. Hey, Blue. Alright. Breakfast is eaten. Oh, yeah, Better Body's muted. I ain't listened to him. So, yeah, they released That's Not My Neighbor on Steam and stopped updating the itch.io version. Now, I won't talk about my personal opinion on how I feel about that.
Hi, Mark.
Can I explain chopstick? Oh, Jet, I literally am using chopsticks, and for a second I thought you wanted me to explain how to use chopsticks. I was like, what? So yeah, he released the game on Steam and didn't update the HIO version. Now, depending on how you want to feel about that as a consumer, I won't talk about my opinions on that because a lot of people have very controversial opinions talking about if he should resell it or not. But my comment to someone was saying, yeah, he doesn't do it because it's difficult. And I was like, no, this isn't true. And I basically explained it to him. I was like, he could just upload the files to itch.io. And I was trying to educate this man. You know, I didn't come in guns blazing. I came in like, I'll try to educate this person, and I'll tell him that it's not very difficult in itch.io. He'll just have to drag and drop the files in and upload them for people to download, you know. And he was like, no, it's a new version of it's a new engine, all this kind of stuff, which the developer never actually confirmed. He just said he had to remake the game. No idea if it is a new engine. I'll play the long drive at some point, GameS, but not today. I've already played it twice, so yeah, well, I'm really enjoying it. I'll definitely play it again. And so this game, what was about? Yeah, and I said, yeah, he just needs to drag and drop it. He just needs to upload it to itch.io if he did want to update the itch.io version. And the guy was like, no, it's not that easy. It's a new version. It's a new engine. He had to rewrite all this or that. Some of the UI is different and whatnot. And I was like, that doesn't change anything. Uploading a game to itch.io, you just upload the entire game. Every time he updated the game in the past, you upload the entire game. If I was to upload a game on itch.io and I was a blue spaceman and I ran around and then I decided, and I uploaded it and people could download it, then I decided, oh, I want to be a red spaceman, I'd have to re-upload the entire game again as a new downloadable executional like file format for people to download, even if the only thing I wanted to change was making them blue. You upload the entire game again. It's like uploading it to, if I were to upload it to friends on Discord, it's just essentially a file sharing site. Whereas Steam, if you updated a game, would make it so it would register the files you've changed, and it would only update those files. So if I did change the blue spaceman to red or whatever, it would only update those files, and it'd be a very small update. Oh. Anyway, so that makes sense, right? And I explained this to this guy. I was like, yeah, so even if it is a new engine, he would just have to...
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, Blake. Hey, Blake. How's it going, buddy? Slay Harbor. I thought it said Slay Harder then. Slay Harder. That sounds like really funny. Like, you're a bunch of, like, vampire slayers and you're not killing enough vampires. It's like, Slay Harder. Or don't yeet yourself over this time. I almost did it again. Why is it... What? Why am I so bouncy there than I usually am? So yeah. Anyway, so to update an itch.io game, for those of you who don't know, you just re-upload the entire game again. Meaning, if you decided you made a game in Unreal Engine 5, let's say, and you went, oh, I'm going to make it in Unity, and you remade the entire game in Unity, you can still upload that to itch.io, even though it's a whole brand new game in a different games engine. It makes no difference, because you're just uploading the entire game every time you update a game on itch.io. Anyways, this guy just kept telling me I was wrong. No, it doesn't work like that. You clearly don't have an understanding of... I went, no, you're talking... And I wasn't trying to get mad at this guy. I was trying to educate him on how you update a game on itch.io. Now, I'm a developer, and I have a game on itch.io. I won't talk about that game. It was a silly game I made with friends in like a day. That's where you got your milk menu for Granny. Yeah. And yeah, loads of stuff on there. And I shouldn't have mentioned that I've been a developer for, I guess, 8 years. I shouldn't have mentioned I'd been a developer because I felt like that went against me in trying to educate this guy on how to use itch.io. And he kept telling me, no, it's more complicated than that. You don't just upload the files. It's a different engine. You won't be able to just update it. I was like, no, because you don't update it. And this went backwards and forward. And I went through a whole breakdown of the process of updating a game on itch.io. And the guy still was telling me I'm wrong. And then at the end, he was like, we have to just agree to disagree. And I was like, no. You're wrong. I was getting so frustrated. I can't tell if this guy was rage baiting me or if he was just this dense, or he was a kid, like thinking he was right about something. And I was so close to calling this guy an idiot. And I don't want to jump straight to calling somebody an idiot because I feel like that...
Bruh.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that sort of undercuts the entire integrity of what I'm saying. If you just call somebody an idiot, I feel like that's not a... If someone were to read back that conversation, it now makes you look like you're the instigator because you insulted the other person. So I try my best to not call this guy an idiot. And you know how he ends the entire conversation? He was like, even if it was that easy, which it is, even if it was that easy, Steam Guidelines says he can't upload it to itch.io. And I was like, what? Where did you pull that information from? You can... Guys, if you make a game on Steam, Steam does not have any guidelines. Hey, the Canadian Hunter, how's it going, buddy? Steam does not have any guidelines that tells you cannot upload your game to other platforms. There are many games on itch.io, Epic Game Store, other downloadable sites, GameJolt, Steam. Yeah. There is no clause that says you have to. And I was like, what? I replied like, what? There is nothing that says... From Steam, you have to upload only on Steam. And he literally wrote back with, if you do a quick Google search, you'll know that this is true. And I was like, this guy, he was trying his hardest to rage bait me, I swear. But I actually think he was being dead serious. I think he was completely convinced. Not only was he convinced that updating a game on itch.io was more difficult than I was pointing out, which it wasn't. He also was convinced that if you upload a game on Steam, you're not allowed to upload it on any other platform. And I was just like, this guy is infuriating. He is just making stuff up for some reason to justify the developer's choice of updating it on Steam and not putting it on itch.io. Again, I wasn't trying to argue whether or not that was an unfair decision from... And it was Jeff. Unfair decision from the developer. I was just like... I saw this guy wrote something he was incorrect, and I was like, oh, I'll quickly, I'll just correct him because he's wrong. And it just turned into this, 1 week worth of arguing over him just not knowing how the process works. I was like, this is so difficult. Yeah, how you guys been doing? I've been having a lot of fun in Japan. I just had that one stupid argument with this guy, like, Jesus, man. Jesus, man. If you're gonna spread information, I always want it to at least be factual, like, right? Don't just make stuff up. I thought about going into game development. Oh, really? Well, programming. Everyone says programming. Programming or art. I've met so many I met a programmer the other day in Japan. He literally said he might be able to get me a job here, and I was like, oh, imagine getting a job in Japan. Oh, I thought that took us ages. Under 6 minutes, not bad. Oh, Capizanitos. Oh. Pretty bad stuff, that's fine. If you were actually speedrunning, you would keep restarting until you have the perfect start, essentially, but we're casual running. We're just trying to get through the game. You know what? We're trying to get another gold, a gold cauldron. But I think architecture is more my thing. Okay, that's really cool. I can love architecture. I've done ArcViz, not obviously the same thing. Architecture, you're actually designing how the buildings are laid out and how they need to work as well. Whereas ArcViz, you're just giving a visualization in a 3D space of what that might look like as a final result, which I've done. That's quite fun. ArcViz is ArcViz is an easier 3D, and some maybe 3D artists would disagree with that, but what makes ArcViz easier is usually you don't care about things like decals and putting grime on things, because Archviz always looks really realistic until you think, actually, this looks too clean. As soon as you like think about how clean architectural visualization is, it starts not looking as real anymore, because in real life things are not clean. As Andrew Price, a Blender guru, used to say, well, I can't remember the actual quote, but he used to say something like, your project's perfections are the imperfections. Something like that. Because when you make something look real... Well, that's Caveman. Look at his points constantly. I think I played way too much. FS22. FS22. I don't know what that is. Farming Simulator. Ah, there you go. Bro, my brain was like thinking Football Manager, and I was like, it's not an S, but it's the one thing coming to my mind. I mean, I think it's always safe, safer in my opinion, to go programming route. I have met, now don't get me wrong, I've met programmers who have struggled to find work and are still struggling to find work. I have met 3D artists who have never found work. 95% of 3D artists I've ever met in my life have never got a job. Maybe, is that accurate? Let me think. There were 60 people in my course. About 4 of us got a job. So, yeah, what, 92%? And I've met many, many more 3D artists who also have never got a job. And the thing is, statistically speaking, you probably have a higher chance to meet a 3D artist who has a job, because they're the ones out there. Because, like, when you get a job and stuff, you're meeting other 3D artists, right? Whereas programmers, I mean, just my company alone, well, a company I used to work for, we had 2 artists. The max I guess technically the max we ever had was 3 artists. We probably hired a total of 4 artists that came and left, including myself. We probably hired about 15 programmers. To put that into perspective, my company hired 3 times the amount of programmers than they did artists. And I think that alone can solely sort of show you, at least in that scenario, technically how much easier it was to get a job in my company as a programmer. It was essentially 3 times more easy. So yeah, if I was ever to advise someone, oh, Steve, programming or art, unless you had an incredible... if you're already asking between the two, it means you're not super passionate about art yet. So I would always tell you to just go programming. I think it's much more flexible in the gaming industry, but also in a lot of other jobs. A lot of programmers I've met have also worked in other areas when they were trying to look for like a games job. Or they might still work in one of those areas. Some of them choose to work in an area that isn't games because they want to do games as a hobby. And games do not give you the highest pay out of a lot of programming jobs. Oh. Career tips with Steve. I've been testing my mod menu in Granny. Oh. Back in the day, I remember people modding, World at War, like the original Zombies Call of Duty, and people were like modding in maps and everything. There was like, people made map makers to make it easier for each other. That was so sick. I love modders. It feels very reminiscent of like Flash games back in the day, because Flash games are all free. I used to use onemoreLevel.com to play my Flash games, and there was like Newgrounds and stuff as well. And God, there was Stick Page. What's the Armored Games? No, what's this? There was one site that everyone always talks about when they talk about Flash games, and I never use that one. I always use One More Level. One More Level I really liked because every week or every day he would upload a new game to the site. He'd also have like a top favorites for the week menu and stuff. In my friend, when playing Farming Simulator, we usually do this farming and roleplay. Oh, that's fun. I don't roleplay games very often. But it can be fun. I used to roleplay back in Gmod, I guess. That was always good. That should be enough. Oh, wow. That wasn't much faster. That was like 10 seconds faster, right? That felt way faster than my first one. Hey, Jennifer, you're back. How's it going? I'm whinging about things. Also, my right eye is killing me. The last couple of days, it's while I'm wearing glasses. Like, I'm not going to thingy too much, but like... I don't know where or what. I thought maybe I had like an eyelash stuck in there or something. I don't know. My eye is so sore. Luckily, it's not coming up bloodshot or anything. But if I like look up, if I like put my head down and look up and look around, it feels sore, like it's scraping. I don't know why. Yeah, that actually did hurt. It's very, very strange, and I don't really know how to fix it right now, so I'm hoping it'll just heal up. What was I going to say as well? My back, though? My back's fine. I was just watching a hockey game. Ooh, nice. I've never watched hockey, I don't think. Have you ever... I know you were talking about... presumably you were talking about ice hockey. Have you ever watched professional air hockey? Those guys look like they're thinking 10 steps ahead. The way that they hold the the paddle? It's not called a paddle, surely. The way that they hold the thing that you hold is so different as well than you would usually hold it. Nope, never. It is... They are... It's like, you know, like watching table tennis, like, people. They're just insane. Because it's like... Any sport that's, like, really small like that, where it's, like, very close up... just ends up like there's so much precision involved, and like, don't get me wrong, being like in football there's a lot of precision involved, but you're not like, because it's not as close, like, and sort of just a smaller game, you're not having to be like when you kick the ball in football, yeah, they're very accurate, but it's within like a couple, you know, if you're still within a couple of inches of where you aimed, it's still a very accurate shot. When you're playing like table tennis and air hockey, being like an inch off could mean the ball going off the table or it missing the goal in air hockey, right? Ah, the team you were cheering for lost. That sucks. You played 8-ball. What's 8-ball? The only thing I can think of is the Magic 8-ball that's like, will I become rich in the future? Ask again later. Oh. Bam, bam, bam. I do feel like recently, with the rise of TikTok, I'm having to have some of the dumbest conversations with people, because I will be sent like a TikTok from somebody and it will be this like cut up out of context. Like I always come out with a joke, and I would think that these people who I've literally said this joke to would think before sending me certain things. And the joke is like, when a reporter comes up to you and they're like, do you prefer, Stephen, do you prefer waffles or pancakes? Oh, I think I prefer waffles. Confirmed. Stephen hates pancakes. It's like, no, that's not. And it could like, and maybe they'll ask me a full like, oh, so you know, what do you prefer, waffles or pancakes? Oh, I prefer waffles. Is there any particular reason why you think pancakes are not as good as waffles? And like, you know, I could say, oh, I still really, really love pancakes, but the pancakes, I don't know, I'd like both. But let's say I was like, oh, I don't like pancakes because I could never decide how many layers I want. I don't know. And they will cut up that video. And they could even say like, you know, I could say, oh, I hate that with pancakes, you have to have many layers. And they could cut that up and it'll just me saying, I hate pancakes, you need so many layers, right? And they cut it up to make it sound like I'm saying something that I didn't actually say. And they release that to the world, and it's me saying, I hate pancakes. I'm like, but I never said that. That's completely out of context. I have a friend who keeps sending me stuff like that. And when I was defending what he sent me, he was like, I can't believe you're defending this. I was like, what do you mean you can't believe I'm defending this? You're this is completely out of context. I was like so bamboozled. Okay. I was so bamboozled that like he couldn't like, I explained why I was defending it. I was like, oh, this is out of context. This is referring to something from a couple of years ago, not something that's currently happening. Hey, Easy, how's it going? And my friend was just like, I can't believe you're defending this. I'm new here. Oh, I'm talking about random stuff. How's it going, man? We talk about random stuff. I'm in Japan at the moment, so I just subscribed. Thank you. So if you have any questions about my experiences here, they're always welcome. I'm going to Korea soon as well. But yeah, TikTok has just spread so much misinformation. And the fact I have a friend directly like that I'm associated with who just keeps sending me the most incorrect information videos. I kid you not. He sent me a video of a man saying, oh God, I probably shouldn't bring this up because people might turn it into political. I'm not saying this for a political thing. I'm saying this for a scientific thing. The man literally said, I want to go to Japan. I think I'm going to go to Germany, actually. The man said, wearing masks and social distancing was the worst thing we ever did to the human race. A very bold statement. I looked up the man, right? There were so many things wrong with that sentence to begin with. Is there any evidence that wearing a mask and social distancing for an extensive period of time can reduce your immune system? Technically, but usually to a very minute level that won't make any difference. That'll be recovered if you were to catch the flu one more time. Because your immune system doesn't shut off just because you haven't got a flu or a cold in a while. Your immune system is always fighting things. As long as you are interacting with some bacteria throughout the day, your immune system is always fighting something and always doing something. So social distancing and wearing a mask, there is no scientific evidence that says, no real scientific evidence that says it will affect your immune system. The only evidence is that it might have a very minor effect, right? If you're used to catching the flu every 3 months and you don't catch it for 3 years, the next time you catch a flu, it might be a tiny bit worse.
But again, you will, after catching it one more time, you'll basically be back to where you were before, that 3-year spout of catching the flu. I get strep throat, I know. Anyways, my friend sent me this. Now, I was like, this is weird. Anyway, and this guy's a doctor. And I was like, is he? I researched this guy. I can't remember his name. He is not a doctor. He does not have a doctorate, and he's never worked in the medical field. He owns a fitness company, basically. He's a pseudoscientist. He was literally, when I looked up, it literally said that. And you could say, oh, but Steve, maybe the internet's lying. He has a degree in biology, right? Hey, what? How's it going, buddy? Ain't seen you for a while. He has a degree in biology.
But just a bachelor's degree. So a 3 or 4 year degree, right? Anyone can go get a bachelor's degree and then start spouting what they want on the internet. I don't get how people think. If he had a doctorate...
more credible. It takes a long time to get a doctorate. Even if someone does have a doctorate, that doesn't instantly mean the things that they are saying is correct anyway. You can still go get a doctorate and then go, alright, I'm going to start making up lies about everything, you know what I mean? But he only had a bachelor's. So this guy saying social distancing and wearing a mask is the worst thing we did to the human race because it destroys your immune system. Literally only has a bachelor's degree in biology, so nothing substantial. Not a doctor. Not a scientist in any meaningful way.
But people lie on TikTok to make... That's what I mean. If someone is super famous because they said something controversial, like wearing masks and... that was another thing. He was like, but he's a doctor. Before I researched him, I was like... But there are hundreds of doctors that have confirmed that says this isn't true. So why are you believing the one guy who says it is? Stuff like that on TikTok right now. And my mate was like, I don't know why you don't like TikTok. Because of you. You have made TikTok look like the most, misinformative location I've ever seen on the internet. At least when I see comments like those, like when I see videos like those on YouTube, the comment section is usually filled with people actually fact checking it, right? They're like, oh, this isn't true because this, and this. If you look at these articles, this, and this is just misinformation. And I'll be like, good. The actual comment section on YouTube have a brain. Hey, Puppet Steve from Minecraft. Hello, I am Steve. Whereas whenever I see TikTok talk about something stupid, like someone could say 2 + 2 is 5 and try to give evidence to why that's true, you will actually see the comment section filled with people agreeing with him. And I'm just like, this is so mental. I can't believe what I see on TikTok.
Bruh.
Basically, TikTok is the most brain rot place I've ever seen in my life. And, like, you get times when people do believe stupid things on YouTube as well. Don't get me wrong. But I never see people fact-checking or anything on TikTok. It's just a bunch of people going, yeah, that sounds about right. And it's usually because it fits their agenda, right? Like, if you want to believe 2 + 2 = 5, and then you see a video of someone saying, yes, 2 + 2 does equal 5, a lot of people are not going to fact check that if they want to believe that, right? See, I told you 2 + 2 is 5, and then when you're like, no, that's not true at all, because then you explain to them why that's not true. Yeah, but you're not a scientist. How do you know? And then you'll give them evidence. I think that was my favorite thing on TikTok. Like, my favorite thing someone has ever said to me when I told them a TikTok was incorrect, right? Even more than Facebook. To be fair, Facebook is filled with bots and stuff. You're probably right. Facebook is probably worse, but I've not been really on Facebook. One of my favorite things was when someone said to me, I was like, they sent me like a TikTok that said an outrageous thing, and I was like, well, this isn't true at all. And I explained to them why it's not true, and I give them evidence why it's not true. It was like a medical thing. I can't remember what it was. I sent them an NHS link, the NHS, the National Health Service in the UK. A lot of things on there are like peer reviewed. You can't just upload something for the sake of uploading it. There's a lot of stuff that go into. Same with like a lot of health sites and certain government sites and universities. Universities usually have quite a straight upload process. Like if you're actually trying to upload something that represents the university, they usually have a lot of peer reviews on it to make sure that what you're saying is accurate. They have a lot of sources. They have a lot of research. I sent this person saw a 30-second TikTok and believed it, right? Again, I can't remember what it was. Let's say grape Fanta causes cancer. Or grape Fanta causes, I don't know. We'll just say cancer. It causes ear cancer. And this TikTok said, yes, grape Fanta causes ear Fanta, and gave made-up statistics that was not sourced from anywhere. It gives brain rot, yeah. Yeah. Fanta grape literally causes brain rot. Moldy brain disease. And my friend completely believed this 30-second TikTok. I think that's an important thing to point out here, is TikToks are very short videos. To believe something that was... And people only want to believe it because it's very convenient. They were spoon-fed information in 30 seconds. And because it was so quick and so confidently said, they just believe it, right? I sent this person... That's why I drink orange Fanta, exactly. I sent this person, right, NHS links, health website links. I'm pretty sure I sent them a university article from Harvard or something. It was like an American site. I sent them all these very credible sources. See, Jennifer, all these credible sources, right, that get peer reviewed, that have tons of research put behind them, that have a ton of sources when they write anything on these articles on these websites. And my friend replied... Again, my friend believed this 30-second video, and then he replies, but how can you believe that? How can you believe a 30-second video? I wouldn't mind so much if this person didn't believe anything. Like, they were skeptical of the 30-second TikTok video and skeptical of all these sites I gave them that are all credible sources. If they were skeptical of all of it and said they don't believe any of it, sure. But how can you say, I believe the 30-second video... but I don't believe any of your sources, because how can you trust them? I can't, man. I can't. Something in me gets very frustrated when I am met with such brain rot response. That is such a stupid response that it irks me so much. You should play the game Donut Country. Donut Country, that sounds familiar. Is that the one where you're like... That's not the hole in the ground one. Bye. Yeah, freaking my friend. Why don't you like TikTok? Because of you. Because you've turned into an idiot while watching it. And then it'll be like, that's not true. Just because it's on TikTok doesn't mean it's not true. I'm like, it usually is. I fact checked almost everything you send me, and it's almost always wrong or exaggerated. Oh, I don't pay attention to brain rot unless it involves history and people lying about it. I just try Papers, Please. I've tried Papers, Please. It's really, really hard to stream at the same time, Papers, Please. So I only played it once or twice. There's just so much going on that I have a very difficult time actually streaming at the same time as playing it, or like communicating at the same time. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I wouldn't mind so much if people actually did their like research, due diligence. I can't remember this. Due diligence. I can't remember the saying. Like if people actually like researched it and like actually came to an educated response, I wouldn't mind too much. Like if it was like, oh. What one did I see recently? I've literally seen... I can't remember if it was a medical thing or something. And like there was a myth years ago about something, and it's like resurfaced. And I literally saw like a medical site having to redo basically their old articles and research to tell you it wasn't true because people have started believing it again. We wonder why humans are struggling to push forward in certain fields. It's because we're taking our scientists and forcing them, our researchers, and forcing them to do research again in areas we already understand, because every 5 years, a random famous YouTuber, TikToker, celebrity will say something, and then they have to start proving something that they shouldn't have to spend their time proving. Because it should be obvious. Imagine like spending your whole career, right? What's a good example of something that's proven? Proving gravity. Let's say that's your entire career, that a mass of an object, depending on how big the object is, it causes a gravitational pull towards that center of mass, right? You have spent 50 years of your life doing papers that make it very clear that this is true, and a random TikToker comes along, someone in their 20s, says this isn't true because of this one scenario, and a scenario has no evidence and was completely made up, and everyone believes it. Millions of people, hey McDo, millions of people believe this TikTok that says gravity doesn't exist. And as a 70-year-old researcher who's been researching gravity for the last 50 years, you now have to rewrite an article. You have to do extensive research you've already done, hey Dino, because people believe a TikTok over your 50 years of education. It triggers me so hard. Just believe scientists. Well, don't just believe scientists. It's fine to be skeptical, but don't just believe someone on a 30-second TikTok. I think that's mental. It's funny as well because people are like, you're a sheep if you believe credible sources. If you believe, I don't know, the University of Harvard article they wrote about this particular thing that they have hundreds of sources that they did 10,000 surveys on and asked 10 million people. Yeah, don't believe them. You're a sheep if you believe them. But you just said you believe a 30-second TikTok. Yeah. How do you not see the irony here? You know what I'm saying? I don't, man. Oh, man. I'm going to move this quick. Hold on a minute. I don't know how anyone in that position who believes like TikToks and stuff that are like just have no backing to them, how they have the nerve to say you're a sheep when they believe a TikTok that showed no evidence of that thing being true. Or they did show evidence, because the problem is, right, is we talked about this before about like Stevetopia and Steveland. Imagine there was two countries, Stevetopia and Steveland.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey, Nanmi? The main character syndrome usually stems from religion. We're not talking about religion. I have opinions on that too. I mean, to be fair, the people I know, or usually one particular person I know who believes all this kind of stuff, is not religious at all. So there could be evidence to say it stems from religion, but it can also occur in people who have no religious beliefs at all. Yeah, definitely not always. Yeah. The only reason religion can have an effect on it is because obviously in religion, there's you have to have faith in something, and there's going to always be like a backlash between having faith in something you don't have evidence over, because it means you might be more susceptible to believing things without evidence. So yeah, it makes sense. Without, you know, I don't have many religious friends anymore. Actually, I used to have a lot of religious friends. It's like as long as you're a nice person, I don't care if you're religious. If you do something horrible to someone because of religious reasons, that's obviously always going to be a bad thing. Sounds like 70% of Americans to me. Oh no. Just do your research, guys. If you believe something, again, a lot of time people want to believe it because it follows their agenda. You know, if you hate horses and then a TikTok says, we need to kill all horses because horses cause humans to get cancer. They're evil beings. That person might actually believe that because they hate horses. They want to believe something that enforces their hatred towards them, right? Oh yeah, the problem with the news or some of these things, right, is they'll try to use like statistics and facts that don't have relevance. And the example I tend to, I don't know why we're getting randomly talk about news and stuff, but it's just popped into my head. And a good example, or a silly example I usually use is like, let's say there's Steveland and Stevetopia. Steveland and Stevetopia have different laws. However, the laws are still essentially the same. It's just they're written differently and they're applied differently. For example, Steveland, public urination is a crime. If you are caught peeing in public, you will be prosecuted. And you will be put in jail for 7 years in Steveland. I think it's in Steveland. In Stevetopia, public urination isn't a law. However, if you are caught peeing in public, you will be prosecuted for vandalism and public indecency. And you'll be put in prison for 7 years. The exact same process. You're put in prison for the exact same amount of time. But the crime you're committing is technically different. One is public urination. And vandalism, while the other is public urination. That's what you're being charged for. However, how does the news take this information? Let's say 100 people a year in Steveland are put in prison for public urination. In Stevetopia, 100 people are also put in prison for the exact same thing, except it's not public urination, it's public indecency and vandalism. However, because 0 people are actually put in prison in Stevetopia for public urination, the news will say, no public urination in... statistics say no crime committed for public urination in Stevetopia, but it's Steveland, 100 people. So people are public urinating. They don't say people are public urinating more, but they paint a picture that makes anyone who watches it think that that's what they're saying. Because the way that they portray that news is like, you know, 100 more people caught for public urination compared to thingy. They make it seem like it happens more in Steveland, even though it's identical, right? But the way that they portray that news is to misinform people who watch it, because people aren't going to go off and do the research to actually understand why the public urination rates are higher in. I don't know why I use public urination always as a metric here. You know what I mean? Deadly horses used to make glue which could cause cancer. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, like the news, or a lot of time, well, news does it too, but freaking TikTok, holy moly, they do it a lot, where they take certain statistics and like they either exaggerate them, because if they want to exaggerate statistic, what they'll usually do is not actually say the full statistic, right? Like, let's say I was a streamer for 10 years and you guys donated £10 million towards me. $10 million, let's say dollars. And in that time, in those 10 years, let's say I was like, guys, I've spent most of this money on charitable donations, right? Then a news article comes out, or a news station or a TikTok or whatever comes out, says Steve's Gaming spent donations from, says he spent donations from users on charitable donations, but he has been buying Xboxes. Now, some people will get up in arms because it's like, please set up some charitable donation. He's been buying Xboxes. And then the actual scenario to where I bought an Xbox, right, would have been I accidentally used the wrong card once and bought a £50 original Xbox 360. Like, not even expensive. But they won't say that. They won't say it was only 50 quid. They won't say that it was an accident. They'll just tell you, because technically they're not wrong, right? Factually speaking, yes, I did spend a charitable donation money. Obviously, this, for anyone who's just joined, this is not actually something I did. This is just me making up a scenario. Technically, I did spend that money on some of that money on an Xbox, but it was only 50 quid. So technically, they're not wrong. What they are wrong about is like pluralizing it, Xboxes, when in reality it was only one. And that is very, very dangerous, because people will believe, without being given actual numbers and even a reason to why, they will believe anything. Is what I think in my eyes. I have an original Xbox at home. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, do your research, guys. Don't, please don't watch a TikTok, a 30-second TikTok of a random guy, usually on a talk show, saying something nonsensical, saying something that's completely untrue. Please don't just sit there and believe it. Please use your brain. Please don't be a sheep. I just love that, like, you're a sheep if you believe, like, actual NHS and actual scientists and stuff. That's when you're a sheep. You're not a sheep when you believe a random YouTuber saying something. That's wild to me. How does that not make you more of a sheep? Because you're believing someone without any evidence. You're literally just believing them because you want to believe them. How is that not more of a sheep than the alternative? You know what I mean? As you can tell, I'm very passionate about this topic. Why can't I get up this snow? I think the worst feeling about getting over it is feeling that an area that you're used to getting over, you start struggling with, and you're like, no, why am I struggling with an area I can already do? My dad has Halo 4. It is all nice. Nobody knows. Wee. I am going to an Idol concert today. I actually did it in a... Why did he grip anything there? I accidentally did it in a really weird timing, because I'm going to this Idol concert, but I'm also supposed to be picking up some Japanese knives today. And the issue with that is I'm picking up these knives and I actually don't have enough time to get back home. If I left like now, I would do, but it just feels... It's an hour journey to get there, right? And an hour journey... Uh-oh. Damn it. Why am I struggling? I have literally completed the game twice in this stream, and I'm struggling at this one area.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey, Josh. You lost your legs? Oh, no. My legs! What was I talking about? Yeah, so I'm going to probably go to, like, the knife shop. And I'm going to buy my knives, but ask him to keep it there for a day, and I'll pick them up tomorrow. Because I don't have any plans tomorrow, so I might just go into Tokyo and just go pick up my knives, or maybe pick up my knives after doing a bunch of stuff, because I don't really want to be walking around with knives in my backpack. Chef's knives, to clarify. What do you think? What you should have done? My legs! Ah! Whoa! I've never yeeted myself that far down by getting caught on the lantern. You know, it's really hard to explain how to do that part. Because you kind of pogo up and then you need to pull your sledgehammer sort of up without rotating it. Or rotating it very little. And it can be very hard to get used to that. Wait, is the 3 months over? No, I'm still here. I'm still here. It's almost over. 2 more weeks. I'm going to Korea for 5 days, though. I wanted to go to a couple of countries, but then I realized I can't leave Japan and keep coming back. You're not allowed to do that because they see it as you try to extend your visa. Technically, I don't have a visa as a UK citizen. I'm on the site called like a Visa Exempt Act or whatever, where basically I get 90 days on a landing. It's not called a landing visa. We looked this up the other day, me and my friends. We were really confused. Basically a landing visa. It's not called a visa. Essentially, I'm allowed to stay in Japan for 90 days after landing. But if you leave the country, even if it's to go to a neighboring country and come back, you get another 90-day one. And you're only allowed 2 of those a year. So basically, because I'm leaving to go to Korea for 5 days and coming back, even though I'm only staying in Japan for another 3 days, I likely will get another 90-day exempt stamp. And I won't be allowed to get another one. I might be able to dispute it if I want to come back. Like, I could always contact like a Japanese embassy and be like, oh, so I only used 3 days of this 90-day visa. Can I get another 90-day visa? And they might go, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's very wishy-washy how they approach those sort of situations, because there's always exceptions. Well, that was a tight one. Bye, hat. Oh, I was gonna swing it around, but wasn't good. Exactly what I was thinking. Away. Shorts lives is still awful. She's what on views? I'm pretty sure my channel has been pushed down on the YouTube's recommendation. I don't think it's shown to many people right now. I'm hoping it's just because I'm in Japan. But we had a bunch of good streams when I was here for the first month, so I don't know. Yeah, something's not going too well. So hopefully one day we'll be back in YouTube's good books and its recommendations. Do all countries need a visa? Do all countries need a visa fee to go to Japan or other countries? Yeah, usually when you go anywhere, there's some sort of thing. The shorts. Oh, right, McDo. You mean like other ones? But I thought you meant like the viewership. I assumed I ain't got many viewers because it's been like this for a couple of about a month now. So I assume that's what you were talking about. I low-key just want to go play Granny 1. We played Granny 1 so much, but it's just such a funny little game to play on stream. And we got a couple of hours to burn. Oh, do you think that's why? Do you think nobody's really getting views on I don't know. I saw one the other day. He had like freaking he got like his channel. I saw someone, his channel was less subscribers than me. I think he only had like 1,000. He went to like 50,000 subscribers in 2 days because his live streams on Shorts got like 5 million views or something. I was like, what? And all he was doing was playing Granny. And I was like, what? He wasn't even talking, I want to point out. It was just a Granny stream of him playing it without talking. And I was like, how is this man being pushed to the front of YouTube on YouTube Shorts? Of course, I was jealous. Well, envious. People would say, you're just being jealous. Yeah, I was. I feel like I try to put effort into being... I try to be entertaining. Obviously, I'm not always entertaining. I try to communicate, chat, and read everything. Yes! Sub 5 minutes. Was there a noob equals banned? Probably. Now, what I mean by bot channels is just more like spam instead of actual content. Yeah. I was just crazy, man. Like, I couldn't believe it. The most views I've got was 250,000 views on a short stream. The fact that he had like 5 million and his channel only had like less than 1,000 subs before this, I was like, what? Did YouTube just say, here you go? Here's a free YouTube career for you. I was like, oh my word. People have been complaining that when their channel reaches like 10,000 subscribers, they don't get pushed anymore. People have the problem, but I think other subscribers are also not getting their notification. Yeah, people keep telling me they're not being notified that I'm streaming. I don't know what's going on. I messaged YouTube about it, and they just like, if you look at here, they weren't very helpful. Not to make fun of them, and to be fair, they probably get a lot of people coming to them with similar complaints, so they probably haven't read the documentation. They just kept sending me the documentation and kept like repeating stuff back to me. And my main concern was like, not only is my channel not being recommended, you can't find Steve's Gaming, at least not my channel. There's a lot of people called Steve's Gaming. You can't find Steve's Gaming when you type in Steve's Gaming. You'll find everybody else. There's literally a channel called Steve's Gaming 7445. He comes up at like the top of the list. He has like 5 subscribers and like 1 video, right? And I explained this to YouTube. I was like, why am I not showing up at all? I was like, my viewership has dropped drastically, and I don't show up when you actually write Steve's Gaming. Yet all these other channels that have almost identical names to me, Steve's Gaming 7335, Steve's Gaming 1234, you know, all these other channels have like 5 subscribers and no videos or near to no videos, and they're getting shown. I literally scrolled through like 1,000 channels. I went to the channel section, I wrote Steve's Gaming. I scrolled all the way down, 1,000 channels. I didn't come up at all. I wasn't in the entire list, right? And I asked them, and I was like, why is this? Hey, nothing here. Osu, how's it going, man? Yeah, and I asked YouTube, I was like, so why is this? And they just replied back with, it could be to do with subscriber count, a view count. The more traffic you have on your channel, the higher it will be on the list. And I was like, I'm not on. Did you not pay attention to what I just told you? So yeah, YouTube, I gave up very quickly with talking to YouTube, because I was just like, I don't really know. They clearly didn't read anything I wrote them. They just defaulted to copy pasting something. So yeah, how's it going? Nothing here, Osu, sitting in college, just chilling. Nice. What kind of coffee? An iced coffee or a hot coffee? I'm at work, not enjoying the night. Ooh. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm going out to an Idol concert today in Japan. That's going to be very interesting. I was never planning on it, but my housing agency that I'm under do like events. I went to one the other day, and they have one today, and it was like, oh, join us. Like, if you're afraid to go alone, join us for a Idol concert. And I was like, sure. I mean, that is a very Japanese exclusive thing that I'm never going to experience anywhere else. Wow, I was able to grip that. Usually when you're that low down, it doesn't grip. I made it for him because I wanted a cappuccino at 9 p.m. Nice. I'd say in the UK... Oh, I don't know. I was saying in the UK, hot coffees are more prominent than cold coffees, but that might not be true anymore. Cold coffees are taking the country by storm, and I'm all here for it. I want the choice of both of them, so why not? And I do like an iced coffee. I make boba coffee when I'm back in the UK. I have like the tapioca pearls. Wait, what's that? Believing what, Sly? I've talked about so much that... Ah, damn it. I probably could have reached that, actually. I was a bit too scared. We should have actually spent today playing Get to Work, I think. Yeah, Japan has been really cool. Been doing lots of activities here. You know what's hard? Trying to make Japanese friends, though. Oh, they are not willing to... I mean, understandably, because in person I don't speak Japanese, so I can't really walk up to them. But they keep to themselves quite a lot anyway. So walking up to a Japanese person trying to speak to them might come off as a bit odd anyway, even if you speak Japanese. I mean, it's not too different in the UK. Whoa, what did that slip so bad? In the UK, like, you wouldn't walk up to a lot of strangers, whereas I know in America, talking to strangers is quite common. You might see someone across the road and just have a chat with them. That's not a thing at all in Japan. But not only that, is I'm trying to talk to people on apps and stuff and whatnot. I was actually supposed to meet with somebody last Saturday. She was like really excited to talk to me. And then she organized us going to the cinema. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. I'm happy about that. Let's go. And then the day came that we were supposed to meet up. And she was like, I'm sorry, I had other plans that I forgot about. I feel really bad. She hasn't replied to me since. I was like, I was talking to my mom about it. She was like, maybe like her friends told her not to meet up with a stranger on an app. I was like, it could be. I was like, that's fair enough. But what I find odd is that she's not... I replied back a couple of things. Like, I was talking to her very regularly, right? And I replied back with a couple of things. And I've also sent her some pictures. And she was messaging me so much originally that I was struggling to reply to her. She hasn't replied in like 2 days. Or 3 days now. And I was like, man, what happened? Hey, Kitty, how's it going? We're a bunch of weirdos and we'll talk to anyone. Yeah, exactly. Americans. So yeah, I was supposed to hang out with someone and it got cancelled. I was like, that's sad. I don't think I said anything to deter her. Because it went from speaking to me a lot throughout the day. She talked to me about her work. She told me her real name. Yeah, she was really chill. Really excited to talk to me. And then, yeah, just out of nowhere, she'd lost interest. I sent a picture of myself because I was asking her something, but my profile picture is a picture of myself, so there's nothing new that I was showing her. That's the only thing I can think of that made her uneasy, that I sent a picture of myself. I was asking about like beards in Japan. I was like, I know in Japan beards are frowned upon. I was like, but like how long? I was like, I don't know if my beard is considered too long. And she literally, oh yeah, because she asked. She was like, oh, send me a picture. And I sent a picture of myself showing my beard. She went, no, that'd be fine. It's like, you look fine. Yes, yeah, so it could have been a picture. I'm not trying to think now why this random person stopped talking to me. I am meeting up. So I'm meeting up with a group today for the Idol concert. I'm meeting up with a Japanese guy in a band on Wednesday. He seemed pretty chill. And then I'm meeting up with somebody on Thursday, and I'm meeting up with someone on Friday to go karaoke. So I've got plans to meet up with people now, but I was just sad. The first person I was supposed to meet up with randomly cancelled on me. I was like, oh, okay. No one likes being cancelled on. I was excited to go to a Japanese cinema. I really want to hang out with a Japanese person so they can, like... Well, one, because I want to. I'd like to make a Japanese friend. That's my goal while I'm here. Make at least one Japanese friend. But two, I want to make a Japanese friend because I'd like to have somebody here who can, like, lead me around and stuff. A lot of things are in English, but at the end of the day, having someone who can actually speak and read Japanese would be very useful in, like, just going out and doing stuff. I want him as a tool now. Or obviously, I want him to be a friend as well. So it's like she's left friends to get... So like she let friends get in her head. I mean, I don't know. My mum came up with the assumption that maybe her friends told her that, oh, I wouldn't meet up with a random guy. But to stop messaging me too, I thought was strange. Maybe she is just busy. You know, maybe I'm overthinking it. I've not really sent her anything else because she wanted me to send her pictures of like activities I was doing. So I had been, but because she's not replied, I think it's very odd to keep sending someone more pictures when they're not replying, right? I think if someone stops replying to you, that's a wait for them to reply kind of thing. Although I do remember my friend Jack saying, like, this is years ago. This is a stranger in Japan, so it's a bit of a different scenario. But I remember my friend Jack saying years ago, he was like, if someone doesn't, like, if you add someone to something and they just don't reply to you, he's like, I'd just remove them because, like, what's the point? The whole point, like, because he was like, don't think you're disturbing them. At the end of the day, they added you. It's like, as long as you're not spamming them, they added you to that thing with the intent to speak to you. What's the point of adding you if they don't want to chat? So it's like, so he was basically saying, I think it's fine as long as you're not sending loads of messages. Yeah, she's not replying concubine. So basically, yeah. I think that's a rule of thumb. Yeah. So to clarify, the first couple of like my mate saying it means like the first couple of messages. But if someone stops replying entirely, yeah, don't keep replying to them. This is very strange. I was very excited. My first Japanese friend, and they cancelled on me. Oh, what the? Come on. It slightly tapped it, and for some reason my traction on the cauldron, or like me sticking to the surface on the cauldron, just completely shifted off the object. Hate when that happens, because it doesn't always do that. Sometimes like you're fine. Hey, Warbucks, how's it going, buddy? It was how you been back, Kitty, as well, and Warbucks. Maybe it was kids trolling. Maybe. I mean, it's a language exchange app. And she seemed very, like I said, she was messaging me a lot, telling me about her life and everything. Very descriptive as well. So I'd be very surprised if this was just a random kid pretending to be a grown person. Like, just an adult. Because, yeah, she was incredibly descriptive. She was talking to me about her work and how, like, talking about her boss and stuff. I'd do that. I don't know. The stuff she was saying, a kid wouldn't have experienced yet to know it. I'm evil.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hello, come back from Philippines. I am Cry. Why you cry, Elmer? What happened in the Philippines? Hey, trust me, Josh, you don't know that stuff. I won't go over what she was saying. You won't know that stuff. Until you experience it, you will not know that stuff. That's not about an age thing. That's about an experience thing. What, a gun version of getting over it? My brother might beat me data, I am Cry. What? Someone did made up I don't know name. Oh, I like a gun version of this. Yeah, I'm in good bad kitty. Well, that's a very big question, Catman, though, because there's a lot of different teas. Do you mean generic British tea? Because there's also a lot of different generic British teas. They do taste similar, though, if you're talking like generic. I don't know what generic British tea is. Is there? I assume there's a name for it. What is generic British tea called? No, it's not green tea in the UK. It's just called black tea. Often referred to as builder's tea. Well, no. But what is that tea? Because you can have it with milk and sugar. English breakfast? Is that what it's called? Is it called English breakfast tea? The standard British tea is typically a blend of black tea. Actually, just keep saying black tea. Many from... Yeah. One of the examples... Because, Yorkshire tea and PG Tips, but that's just the brands. So... what type of tea is PG Tips? It just says black tea blend. Yeah, so we just have black tea in the UK. I don't drink tea black in the UK because you can have it with milk and sugar. How's Japan? It's really good. I really enjoy myself. I'm going to a idol convention at 5 o'clock. Oh, that's not going to stick, surely. Or is it? Is it? Oh, Pog. Let's go. Also, how's it going, Shell or Shell? But the British man doesn't know this means it might not be true. What about tea? It's definitely not green tea. But if I asked a British person what type of tea we drink, they'd probably just say it's tea. If you said to a British person, have you got tea? They will get you like generic, what we consider generic tea, which would be PG Tips, Yorkshire tea, what's some other brands? Just one of those. Can you play God of War? Ooh, good suggestion. Maybe someday. Maybe not while I'm in Japan. I don't know if my laptop could handle it. You know, I'm talking to a bunch of Japanese people right now. And one of them, I said, something that's really funny. Actually, this was to a Korean person, because I'm going to Korea, so I've been talking to Korean people. And I was saying, so what's funny about, like, certain English foods is we will call them English. To be fair, in the UK, hey, Lacra, how's it going? Have you tried red tea? No, what's that? We will, for example, an English muffin. You know, like McMuffins from McDonald's? They're called English muffins. But we call them English muffins in England. We don't call them just muffins. Because if you said to someone muffin in England, they would likely think you're talking about the sweet muffin. Right? And it's the same with like an English breakfast. We call it English breakfast an English breakfast. We don't have another name for it. And I just think that's funny because you'd think, oh God, you'd think having the word English at the start would mean we wouldn't use that, right? You just call it breakfast and you just call it a muffin, but we don't. And I just find that very funny. No, why did you do that? Why am I struggling at this area all of a sudden? Jesus. Go up, hook, pull. Push to the side, go over there. There you go. Textbook. Go to the edge of this. Push off this. Get up there. Wait, what's jump scare? Most popular drink, black tea. Why so many types of tea? It seems like leaf water. It is with leaf water, but it's like it really depends. You got like here's matcha tea, oolong tea, not jasmine tea. That's rice. They got fruity teas, peach tea, apple tea. They have a lot more different teas in Japan that they do in England, I would say. At least in generic shops. Because you can pick up quite a lot of everything in England as long as you go to the right shop. Like if you go to an Asian supermarket, for example, you can pick up a lot of different things. Have you drank... What's Chinese tea? English at the start is how I tell British from American. English at the start is how I tell... Wait, what? As in teas, like it says English tea, is that what you mean? Nightbot will get you. I have a well itchy nose. I will destroy you. I am the... Oh, let's see, ruler of Persei 8, wherever he says Omicron, Persei 8. Are you good? I was gonna say, what's the hook point? Right there, yeah. You can do this part slide by doing this, getting to that point there. Not forcing your sledgehammer to go up so quickly. It is funny that you can force your sledgehammer to go up so quickly, your character bounces and it can throw you off of objects. Hey, how's it going? I always say your name wrong, so I'm not gonna attempt it today. How's it going, man? 772. You know, I was trying to explain to someone the other day that, like, a channel name early on won't usually matter. And he's like, yeah, but your name's not unique. I was like, that doesn't matter. I was like, because when someone searches... If my name was Markiplier, if nobody knows who Markiplier is, people aren't going onto YouTube typing Markiplier. You know what I mean? Early on a YouTube, like in someone's YouTube career or whatever, the name isn't as important because people aren't specifically searching out their name. When they're looking for your content, they're not actually looking for you per se, they're looking for your content. That was a bad push. Six minutes. So yeah. Oh, you mean the jump scare in the church? How far behind are you, Blue? I said that like 2 minutes ago. Oh, but you replied that quick. You look like one of my science pupils, Blue. More like mass substitute. What's your favorite? Physics. Physics is so much more interesting. Chemistry. Well, chemistry can be interesting if you're actually allowed to mix chemicals together, but if you're just learning about them, chemistry is so boring. Chemistry, you're learning about how chemicals or how elements work interacting with each other. Biology is learning about how you work. Wow, you good, Steve? It's basically how you work and how other living things work. And then physics is everything else. Like, learning about planets, learning about how the world works around you, gravity, air resistance, all the forces, all this. That's all physics, man. That's so good. Hey, Blue. Any without physics? What? I don't know how anyone could say physics is not enjoyable compared to the other two. If you enjoy the other sciences, I'm surprised people will say they don't enjoy physics. Like, maybe it not being a favorite at the three, but I know people who hate physics and love chemistry. I'm like, you hate physics and love chemistry? I just think that's so weird. I knew someone was going to say they love chemistry. What's the question, Blue? Like learning about black holes. Wi-Fi. Hey, ooh. Gosu. Gonzalez. How's it going? But physically is a third to astronomy. What?
No.
Bread. Bread. Bread.
Uh-oh. There you go. Getting a really bad push off every time there. Can't spell a lot of science word too long and wonky. True. I can agree with that.
Bread.
I shouldn't be yawning at this time. It's literally only 11:30. Where's my energy
Bread.
drink?
Oh, hi, Mark.
I've got bread in here. I bought like a bunch of bread's invisible. There. Hey, sup, how's it going, buddy? I got some sweat. Wait, was that? I always get confused how sweet and sweat is spelled. I remember someone making fun of me for that. They were like, how can you not know sweet is double E? Why would you spell it EA? And I instantly went, how do you spell the word heat? He was like, H-E-A-T. And he was like, oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, exactly. Like, I think it's pretty understandable why sometimes get confused with heat and with sweet and sweat. Bro, it might be cooked. It was an anime thing. What's this? What? Oh, wait, what? Look at oh, I'm a puppet. Look at a little barcode thing. I'm Steve. How's it going, Nala? Gotta love English. That's what I'm saying, Cameron. You know what I found funny? In university, I had a friend called Jake and Jack. And sometimes I'd get their names confused because I'd only just met them. So, from my personal perspective, Jake and Jack are pretty similar names. They did not agree. And I remember being like, the difference between your names is one's pronounced phonetically on the A and one isn't. I was like, one's J-A-K and one's J-A-K. I was like, how can you not say they're similar? No. Introduce him to John. Well, at least that's not as similar. Whoa. This is actually considered one of the hardest areas for any like speedrunner this game, because all you got to do is one little mistake like that and the whole thing, like I was literally about to fall all the way off to the left, the whole thing just gets ruined. Wait, ogres doesn't work? Oh wait, I think you spelled ogre wrong, right? I actually might launch some. What time is it? I might launch some Granny in a minute. Should I do a whole separate YouTube stream, or should I just keep it on the getting over it and we'll just play Granny? You can actually change the name while I'm playing. I could always just call it Granny and Getting Over It. Question is, do we play Granny 1 or 2? That's not. I was gonna say it's not how you spell ogres.
Are like onions.
Ogres are like onions. I saw someone recommend a while ago. They were like, "You always repeat it back. Why not just like not make it say it? And every time you see someone write it, instead you just say it." And I was like, "You want me to say it every time someone writes it? Sometimes people spam it." You want me to sit it like when people spam the word bread a million times? You want me to just sit going bread, 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 bread? Can I please stop slipping as I do that? Thank you.
Bread.
Huh? You know, I remember someone talking about if you guys know what Hololive is, it's a VTubing company where people have like avatars and they're like anime girls or whatever. Hey, Chocomochi, how's it going? I've let him off. It's late, but could you wave to me? And I remember somebody saying, and it was out of context, but even if it wasn't, it's quite accurately. Basically, he said if you get into something like Hololive, you're basically already set. And people took it as offensive, saying like, "Oh, say they don't even have to be entertaining, whatever." Blah blah blah. But that's true for any industry. If you get into certain companies in almost any industry, you're usually set. And that's no different than in this scenario. If you get into Hololive, it means you're going to get a certain number of viewers no matter what. That's just factual. And it's not to say that they're any less entertaining, it just means they have a base to work from. Because at the end of the day, that is... You could be the most boring person on YouTube. There will be people who like your content. Regardless to how boring you might be. Some people might like more boring content. Or, well, to them it might be just more tame, right? They might not consider it boring. They just consider it more tame. And if you don't talk while playing the game, they might go, "Oh, I like that because I like just watching the game. I don't want to hear the guy talk very much," right? Stuff like this. And, at the end of the day, when it comes down to being popular in any area, selling any product, anything like that, one of the big ones everyone will tell you is marketing. It's about people knowing the product or you as a YouTuber exists. If
Oh, hi, Mark.
any person, hey Chris, if any person on YouTube randomly had their video, regardless to how boring it is, randomly had their video thrown on the front page of YouTube, shown to 1 billion people, you will have it, even if a 0.01% people click it, that still means 100,000 people are going to watch that video. And then even if 1% of those people subscribe, you've now just got 1,000 subscribers like that. You know what I mean? It's all about people knowing you exist, knowing your product exists. That's why they always say marketing is the most important thing. And that's why in this scenario, talking about HoloLive, and this YouTuber saying, oh, if you get into HoloLive, you're already set. That's why that is a valid thing to say. You do have a much easier time if you already have a user base to entertain. We're talking about random topics today. I'm going to do 5 jumping jacks. Prepare for impact, yo. Got a Japanese energy drink. Look at that. Look at the kanji or whatever you call it. How was your day? Pretty good. I mean, my day's barely started. It's not even midday yet. It's going well. I have plans today. Gonna go not pick up my knives, but pay for them today. I'm gonna pay for 3 chef's knives. I don't actually even need one of them, but I really want the 3. Basically, there's a small knife, a medium knife, and like a large knife. It's like a set. It's gonna cost me about £250. They're like authentic Japanese knives. But I really, really think that'd be a nice thing to bring back from Japan. I think that'd be a really good souvenir for me. Wow. How many people... Chocomochi. You know, I didn't even know who Kise was until probably... Ooh. You know what? Probably 5 months ago. I was gonna make it sound like it was really not... Oh, whoops. For some reason, I thought it was going to be like a much shorter time, but no, it was probably about 5 months ago. Good push, surprisingly, even though I hit that in a weird way. Hopefully, I hit the rock here. There it is. Usually, you want to be going to the side of it, but I kind of knew it was above me. Oh god, we are trapped in space for... Really? We're trapped... You know what? What if I do this? Push myself downwards towards that and push myself back up. Hey, look at that. Are we going to reach it? There you go. 6 minutes. Our best was what? 4 minutes and 50 seconds or something? We got under 5 minutes, right? Alright. Let's go play some Granny. Can I change the title? So if I just go like... Relaxing with Grandma. And then if I go like onto here, I can change the title, right? So if I remove these parts, oh, but the shorts won't change. I could change that individually. So if I go like that, and I go we call it Help Me Pop Man Get Granny, and I'm just going to call these stream Getting Over It and Granny. And that should change the name. And then I can pop in the description all the hashtags I need for Granny as well. Hashtag Granny, hashtag Granny gameplay, hashtag Granny 2. We usually just start a new stream. Oh, upload image. You know what? I'll change it to Granny for now, but I should make a image that's... Or should I just start a new stream and make it Granny? What do you guys think? You guys think I should just do it as a separate stream? It'd probably be better for the channel if I did, to be fair. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll be right back. So if you guys are here, another stream's about to start up. So I'll be right back. We're going to play some Granny. Bro, can I stop it and not stop Twitch? Probably. Oh, no, I can't because it's restream. Okay, be right back in a second.